everybody. Good morning. Jason Sarney here with PhinManiacs.com. A happy new year to you all. We're going to be doing a PhinManiacs Live pregame show. We, of course, have the Dolphins at the Tennessee Titans, Miami, meeting Ryan Tannehill again in a must-win game to continue this unbelievable winning streak and this dream season where they went from 1-7 to now choosing their own destiny, so to speak, to make it to the postseason of the 2021 NFL season. So thanks for joining in, everybody. We're going to be doing a little bit of a joint kind of a show today. We're going to be doing, of course, our preview, talking about the matchups, the X's and O's, all the news and such. And, of course, what we've been doing in the last week, unfortunately, with the loss of a tremendous fan, friend, philanthropist, family man, just an unbelievable human being. Bill Hetrick passed last week, and we have been doing what we can as a fan base and a group to raise money for something that has been close to him for his whole life. The Memorabilia Museum, a number of sports Hall of Fame, museums and artifacts that he has cultivated throughout his life. He does such good work. He did such great work. So we want to put all these funds that we raised today to that. And we have a number of people joining the show. First is a man who makes me laugh, makes my ribs hurt, literally. And we're going to bring him in, Jack Zullo. He is the Fin Rant Friday man. Jack Zullo, Happy New Year to you, Jack. How are you?
Happy New Year, dude. Good seeing you.
Great seeing you as always. So tell me a little bit about the inception of your rants, how that kind of came about, and then we can go into a little bit of a talk on the game and what we're really doing this afternoon or morning.
All right, sure. Well, I was on Governor's Island. If you guys are in New York, really great place to go is Governor's Island. It was opened up to the public about 10 years ago. And it was just a great backdrop. Obviously I do the Fin Rant Fridays on Friday with a PH, but I think the tenor of the piece allows me to do it really whenever. So I didn't do it on New Year's Eve. I did it on New Year's Day. I was there. As you can see, there's a flash of a cameo by my better half and smarter half. We were on the island together. And Lady Liberty was there. So, at this point in the season, man, like we're Dolphin fans. We speak to Dolphin fans here at PhinManiacs. And it's like, we know what the issues are, right? We know what the team is. The team lost 7 games. I will go to my grave. I will die on this hill. The turmoil created by all of the rumors and innuendo about trading for a top 4 quarterback who is not playing, I think created a detrimental environment in the locker room. That happened. That went. Then all of a sudden, the Dolphins won 7 games in a row. I think, obviously, the two go together hand in hand. But the Dolphins have won 7 games in a row. They're sitting at 8-7. And they're playing a team that they're 10-4, and I'm a big fan of "You are what your record says you are," the Bill Parcells quote. And this is a test. This is the first barometer since that Ravens Thursday night national game where we could say, all right, put up or shut up, Dolphins. You're going to make the playoffs? Are you gelling into a team that, much like the Ravens, is a smash you in the face, ground and pound with a quarterback who's accurate, can make the throw when he needs to, and can manage a game plan to victory? I was describing to Jen that the Titans are like 2 years ahead of where the Dolphins want to be. So what needs to happen? The defense is playing great. We've been doing a lot of zero blitz formations or whatever it's called, where you just stack the line and go man coverage. We've been, Duke Johnson and Philip Lindsay have been running the ball decently. Duke Johnson could catch the ball out of the backfield. So can Myles Gaskin, Philip Lindsay. We have versatile running backs. We've got a quarterback who's accurate. We need the offensive line to create lanes and give Tua more than 2.3 seconds to throw the ball. That's it. We know what's going on.
You're dead on. And I think Tua, the stat that you referenced, the amount of time is like the bottom 5 or the top, however you want to spin it, he needs more time. I think there's only 3 or 4 quarterbacks who have less time, so you can analyze that however you want. And intermittently, Jack, throughout the terrific analysis that we bring, I'm going to say, if you haven't done so already, please go to, our GoFundMe page for Bill Hetrick. We have already hit, pardon me, our $1,000 goal, and which is phenomenal. But let's go over. We never want to be at where we initially thought. We want to go above. You wanted to win 9 games, win 13. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep it going. Go ahead, Jack. I think you're going to jump in.
I went shoot for the stars, shoot for the stars. And at least maybe you'll land on the moon.
Exactly right. And I think that's what we're doing so far. And I really, really appreciate everyone who has donated. And what we're doing throughout today, we are going to be giving cards away, thanking our donors. And we're going to be doing it in a bit of a fun way. We have already, like, Jack, you're an actor, and you're a phenomenal actor and comedian. And I want to see you one day hold a statue. Now, if you're ever watching these award shows, do you have a statue? There you go. Now, I want to see you holding one with like a little weight to the Belushi. You were phenomenal in imitating and impersonating and basically embodying John Belushi. That is basically, I think, your, could we call it your signature role at the moment?
I mean, it's my passion project, man. It's something that, as you know, man, this is, I'm sure you're finding out in the PhinManiacs world. It's very difficult to get any headway in entertainment. So you just got to grab onto what you want to do and run with it. And the Belushi Show has been my passion project, which started with, research in 2006, a couple of really early versions of a show in 2010 and 11, the first version of what would become the show that I put up in 2012. And here it is 9 years later. And I put the show up 3 times, and I was just nominated for a bunch of Broadway World Off-Broadway Awards. And as were members of my cast, which speaks to the show as a production. So, man, I don't know. Really, I'm doing this all for the passion of it, and me being on something. Obviously, you want a payoff. Like you've been involved in NFTs, right, man? You've been getting involved in new ways of delivering art and delivering, fan gear to people. And, it'd be nice if it paid off. Like, who doesn't want to hit the lottery? Who doesn't want to live in the lap of luxury? But I mean, who doesn't want to get paid? I guess do what you love for a living and you'll never work a day in your life is another cliche. And I'm doing what I love, and I'm working on turning those dials so that frequency of it turns into, making a living doing what I'm doing.
I love it. I'm in the exact same world. And to go back to that award and statue and award show kind of theme, and I really wish you luck because I love your show. If you want to appraise any card throughout the morning in your Belushi-isms, I would not oppose to that. I'm not going to throw you on the spot, but I'm not going to oppose to it. This card has already been claimed. One of our donors, look, I'll use Twitter handles. I'm not going to blow up, full names. I know him. I call him T. He's 84 Chambers. This is his card. He was good enough to donate. He said he was going to donate an amount, and then I checked it out, and then John, could you appraise this card? I think we went into John.
Yeah, it's a straight up, man. Just the kind of card you take with you everywhere you go. You hold it close to your heart. And it's your battle cry, man.
I love it. And this is going to be T, 84 Chambers. This is now his card. So we're going to put this aside, and we're going to be doing some raffles. And the next card that we're going to put up is Now, this is another guy that I think you might have praised. We're all crossing our fingers here in Dolphin world that this guy gets into the Hall of Fame.
I mean, he's a legend. He's someone that takes it home. He's 5'10". I was a 5'10" linebacker, man. Actually, I was 5'9". And maybe Zach Thomas was 5'9" too, man. You never know. You got to go for it like he did. 5th round pick. Texas Tech. He was out of Texas Tech, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
5th round pick. Got to be going to the Hall of Fame. Sure.
Now, he somersaulted. Nice. Very nice. He somersaulted into the end zone against the Titan franchise. I'm sure you remember that.
I do. That's like one of the highlights that has been going around.
Absolutely. So we're going to do what I'm going to do now. I'm looking at the wow, I'm so thrilled that we hit the 1,000. So when looking at the donors, we're looking for a Hall of Fame person. We're looking for a Hall of Fame. I have an idea. We're going to be doing raffles, and I think I'm going to be doing some random giftings. Do you think that's a good idea? I don't know if I'm talking to Jack or John.
You're talking to Jack, dude.
Jack, do you think that's a good thing? Can we gift cards? And if someone has an issue with the play, I mean, we're all Dolphin fans here. So Josh Houts donated a really good amount, and I'm really a big fan of Josh Houts. You know, Josh?
Yeah, who wouldn't want a card?
Who wouldn't want a card? Exactly. And I think since Houts is a Hall of Fame Twitter man,
yeah,
I think it fits that. I mean, Josh, if you're going to watch, if you're going to hit me up, this might be a Josh Houts card written all over it.
Why not? What's on the backside? What's on the backside? Let me see the back of that card.
We got some factoids. You want me to read the factoid?
Yes, I do.
Fast as a cat, with the instincts of a lion, hunting its prey. I'm not even making this up. This is literally the back of the card. Thomas could sniff out the opposition's plays and then feverishly fly from sideline to sideline, wreaking havoc. In 2006, he posted a whopping 165 tackles with 9 pass deflections, 3 sacks, and an interception to earn his 5th and final All-Pro first-team berth. Now, that's a Hall of Fame player if I've ever seen one. Thoughts on Thomas?
I think Josh Houts, you said,
Thomas Houts, same thing.
Thomas Houts?
Or Josh Smith, either way.
What
are your thoughts on Zach Thomas and then Josh Houts?
Well, my thoughts on Zach Thomas, man, is I think he was it was to his detriment that he played alongside Jason Taylor. I think it was drafted 2 years after Zach Thomas came into the league, or maybe a year after.
Yep.
Because obviously Jason Taylor was a monster of a defensive end. Also, I don't think Jason Taylor gets as much credit as he should for redefining the defensive end position, with just being this long, lanky, athletic, versatile, drop back in coverage, or blitz the quarterback, come around the corner, beating double teams kind of guy. But Zach Thomas didn't get the respect that he could have gotten, because I think based on his size, when he got double teamed by a D tackle and when he got double teamed at the line of scrimmage, they could push him off the ball. I think that was the one weakness to Zach Thomas's game, was just how big he was. So I think there's more highlights of you seeing Zach Thomas getting blown up by a D tackle and a D lineman, like a defensive end, an offensive tackle and an offensive guard, blowing him up, getting double teamed off the line against the run, because they would put two big guys on Zach Thomas to try to clear him out of the play. And then that means that who was cleaning up with tackles was Jason Taylor, maybe a little Brock Marion, but you see him flying all over the field. You see how versatile he was, and you see what his numbers are stacked up compared to other Hall of Fame middle linebackers. And seemingly, I think the fact that he wore the orange and teal might have hurt him, because had he played for the Steelers, had he played for the Packers, had he played for the Bears, had he played for a team that is historically known as a linebacker factory, I think he would have gotten into the Hall of Fame already. It's just that he played in South Florida.
I like the way you it's almost like you're dead on with the Jason Taylor, but then of course we could flip it and say that there was benefit from Taylor because of Thomas, that whole defense. But I loved that entire 10 years and change of when Zach and then when JT, and then you add the corners. You mentioned Brock Marion, and then you had those additions like Trace Armstrong come on in.
Yeah.
And, I loved that whole defensive line. Then you had Darryl Gardner and, of course, Tim Bowens. It was really special times. Jumping to this defense now, which is a good segue. I want to get back to the game coverage, and then let me put up a new card here, actually. If we're going to go defense, let's go defense here. Let me find a defensive player. No better defensive player right now than Xavier Howard for the Dolphins. Now, Jack, a little bit of card stuff. This is like what they call a parallel. It's like a regular card, but like a different color. So it's like a game match parallel. So it's got that aqua, so we're going to put that up there. And if, any viewer wants this card, if they donate it, let me know. It could be that simple. And we'll be doing raffles a bit later when we have some other raffle pros. I'm very novice at the online raffle game, Jack. So,
well, you're not a novice. You're not a novice at kind of just being a generous, loving dude. How's that?
I appreciate that. It's the nicest thing I've ever heard, and I thank you for that. So we're gonna go on to the defense, and they're not a nice bunch in terms of how they act to people on the field. They're very nice off the field because they're a bunch of really terrific people. I mean, there's some really good humans on this defense. And when you look at the front seven, they play mean on the field. Wilkins, Sealer, Van Ginkel is the QB hit leader. Did you know that Andrew Van Ginkel leads the whole NFL in quarterback hits?
Yeah, you know why I know that? Because somebody in the PhinManiacs family has, posted, all of the stats of quarterback hits, and I saw that Van Ginkel was on there. But considering and with the defense being so versatile, or that's the goal of the defensive personnel, we forget that, hey man, if somebody does something well, just like put them in that lane and let them go. And Van Ginkel he's a motor guy,
right?
And he's a guy that you put on the edge and just have him blitz. I think he's a good tackler. I think he's got a nose for the ball. But the dude could literally get to the quarterback. He's fast. Why wouldn't you have him there?
That's exactly right. And a lot of things kind of went wrong in the beginning portions of the season for the Dolphins. I mean, look, they were 1-7. You lost 7 in a row. And I love diving into the numbers. And they did not blitz Van Ginkel. Like, he's got a propensity to, of course, kind of go forward, of course. But in terms of play calling and sending him directly as a job, he was blitzing once or twice a game. And then all of a sudden, the Houston, the Baltimore game, 11 times a game, 16 times a game. And then all of a sudden, this defense is really working.
I think maybe, and maybe I'm just projecting onto what I think the Dolphins would do. But, the way NFL teams run their playbooks, they don't want to show too much. And I think the Dolphins, at the beginning of this season, coming into the season, I'm sure the coaching staff felt that the Dolphins were a 12-win team, that the Dolphins were going to be challenging for the AFC East, going to the playoffs. And I think that their strategy was to kind of run the defense in a certain way for the first part of the season and then slowly transition into, what's it called? A zero front? Isn't that what it's called? And slowly transition into what they were doing last year that worked, so that they didn't become predictable this year. And I think that that's a good idea. I also think that the coaching staff is stubborn and is like, we're going to keep on doing what we believe we're going to do. So even while they were losing, they were sticking to the plan. And then it got to a certain point where they were 1-7. And it was like, well, the time is now. It's like when the Dolphins busted out the Wildcat. It's like, if we're going to try this, we might as well do it now. And they went back to what was successful for them last year. And let me tell you, as so many people have pointed out, the level of quarterback play they faced in the past 7 games on this win streak is, I would say average to a little below average, even though we do have 2 former MVPs, an NFL Super Bowl champion, and a number 2 pick in the draft, even though he's a rookie, as part of those quarterbacks that the Dolphins beat. I think that we see what that type of defense can do. And if you have the personnel, which you got to hand it to Chris Grier and to Brian Flores, they have the personnel to use that defense and be successful at it.
What I think the problem was too, and I love that you mentioned that they were sticking to the plan, because there was almost like a stubbornness to it, that they were just sticking to, like, what they want to try to do with maybe 1 or 2 tweaks, because the personnel was getting better. They lost veterans, Jack. Losing Van Noy.
They didn't lose. They didn't lose veterans. I mean. They got rid of veterans, which I didn't agree with. Yeah, I didn't agree with, in a sense that, like, you're expecting young guys to step up and become leaders, but when you already have leaders there who are maybe not performing to the contract you signed them to, but are performing to what the normal expectations of what they're capable of is, it's not your fault you signed them to a bigger contract to attract them to Miami. That's just what the market demanded.
100%. And you know what? Players restructure, reorganize. And sometimes, if a player might not be willing, that was a rumor, you move on. But what my point is that it took time for the current Dolphins, and I speak in like October, and the new Dolphins, in terms of Javon Holland, Jalen Phillips, to get their sea legs, no pun intended. And I don't like the knee-jerk reaction takes. 3 games in, no sacks, bust. I mean, come on. We need players to develop. That's why they call it develop. You need time to let the picture come into clarity. And it doesn't take 2 seconds. It might take 2 months. And that's exactly what we saw the defense.
Well, again, man, now you're talking to a whole broader issue in the NFL and maybe in our culture as a whole currently. Everyone wants instant gratification, because I'm instantly talking to you. We're instantly streaming this to, StreamYard and then to other platforms. We are instantly searching for stats. They're instantly available. I look at a dude like Zach Wilson. That guy was drafted with the second pick in the draft, not because of his performance in college, but more because of his potential.
Yeah.
And a guy who's got potential in the NFL, you could say, well, yeah, let's throw him out there and have him learn. But people get broken. And I'll say this, you could say, well, if he got broken, then maybe he wasn't the right guy to begin with. And but I disagree. I think Zach Wilson should have had a veteran quarterback starting at least this year, possibly next, that he could hold the clipboard, see the speed of the NFL game, watch it, maybe get into some garbage time play, not to talk Jets. But with Jalen Phillips, it's the same thing, man. Like he's going up against, I mean, think about how fast offensive linemen are in the NFL, how strong they are. And you're talking front to back, like tackle to tackle. Your worst offensive lineman is going to still outperform most of the offensive linemen you're going up against, even in, playing at the University of Miami against, top-rate competition, or playing at the University of UCLA against top-rate competition. This guy needed time, and also the coaching staff's confidence in him to set him free, to make sure he's not going to blow assignments, to let him freelance, to let him improvise. Because think about it, like, do you think Brian Flores wants players improvising in his defense? I don't think so. But I think Brian Flores also understands that versatile players have to be given the freedom to make plays, to read and react to what's actually going on in the field. But a rookie is not going to read and react in his first couple of games. I'll be the first person to say, like, I was like, man, we drafted this guy and there was questions about his love of football. And, he took a year off and he had a good year at University of Miami, but he didn't do well at UCLA. And maybe this guy is a flub, but wow. Wow. Like, listen, we don't know who's going to all of a sudden it's going to click in. And in the NFL, we have to let it click in.
Right.
And I think a point, and because I listen, man, during the draft, I'll say it. I've said it before. I'll say it again. when it came time for the Dolphins to draft number 5, a quarterback, I was like, if they took Justin Herbert, that would be really counterintuitive to what like the past year and a half has been, but it would be a bold move. And that's probably what they should do. They took Tua. I don't agree with the way they handled Tua last year. I don't agree with the fact that they don't have an offensive line after investing so much draft capital in it. But going back to the point of like Tua is succeeding under all of this severe pressure and stress and doubt, while he's also returning from a catastrophic injury that probably won't see him really be recovered from, if ever, by like now, a year, what is it? A year and a half later, like 1, 2. Oh no, it's about 2 years later now, right? Since his injury.
Yeah, we'll call it
so,
2. Yeah, I agree.
That's cool too. So like at this point now you could say, well, Tua is as recovered as he's ever going to be. I think this whole experience has galvanized him. And if you give him somewhat of a running game and offensive lineman to give him like 2.8 seconds instead of 2.3, then maybe we'll see Tua, push the ball down the field more accurately.
Exactly. I mean, that half a second, that 0.5, that could make all the difference in the world of
it's an eternity.
Seeing the right read with the right amount of time to deliver a perfect throw, maybe getting hit afterwards, but like as we saw with many a tough quarterback, and Tua's tough. He's gotten injured, but he's tough.
Well, that's part of the problem is that he's so tough. He puts himself in positions where he gets injured,
right?
Which is why I was like, the injury bug that they were saying about him in college, short of the hip, but the hip was a perfect example of that. He was trying to extend a play where he should have thrown the ball away, where he should have, he's with Alabama. You got playmakers. You throw the ball away. You take the sack. You live to fight another day. And in the NFL, man, if you don't do that, you'll be out of the league in 3 years.
I mean, 100% right. And there are players who play like that. And it's not like a detriment to their ability and their heart, but it's a detriment to everything else. It's like literally when I see Mike Gesicki trying to hurdle a guy for another half a yard, I'd like him to not.
Well,
go ahead.
I think a perfect example of what you're talking about is a Christian McCaffrey.
No.
I mean, that dude plays like a beast, like a manimal. And that's the way he's hardwired. But because he's hardwired that way, we're seeing all these injuries starting to pile up on him, where all of a sudden, like last year he missed 14 games. This year he missed a bunch. I'm not sure exactly the amount.
At least like 5.
and he had to get shut down. And it's because he plays like a manimal, but you have to learn Ricky Williams, man. If you watch Ricky Williams runs, Ricky Williams knew when to go down. He knew when to avoid contact.
Yeah, I'm literally I'm watching him go through one of the gaps, and then he cuts it outside, and then all of a sudden he goes from his top gear, and then he gets out of bounds. He'll get out of bounds at the marker. Or he'll hit the first guy, and then you're right.
Boom, and then boom, he's down on the ground.
The pile.
How many times do you see a dude try to get hit by one guy, and then he's like, I'm going to break this tackle. And then all of a sudden, of course, man, again, the speed of the NFL game, you've got another linebacker. You might even have a defensive lineman, like a defensive end who's chasing down the play. You have a safety coming in. That's where A, fumbles happen, and that's where B, people get hurt. Where they get twisted up, they blow out they get a high ankle sprain or they blow out a knee. Tua's got to understand, and those truck hits where he trucks people, they're great for a sports center. They're not great for his durability.
No, I mean, look, against the Jets in that kind of climate, he got up to live to fight another day and beyond. We all love it. 9 times out of 10. That's probably going to put the quarterback into a situation where he'll say to himself, I probably shouldn't have done that. So he got out really lucky. And, I would definitely love for exactly how we talked about, for players to not necessarily want to go for the highlight or go for that extra yard. Just take what you can, stick around for another play. Stick around for the rest of the show, Jack, but I'm going to bring on in the voice of Miami Dolphins fan base, Bill from Boynton, BLT.
Nice.
How are you, good sir?
I'm good. How are you guys doing? Can you hear me?
I am muted. Thought I was going to get through the whole show without the mute mistake, but we'll have Jack come back. But I want to talk to you about this month has been your month, December into here, this holiday season. You really have letting the creative juices flow, and much to my and all of our delights. Tell us how you just started singing.
Oh, well, I've always been doing it and messing around, but I didn't have the nerve to put it out there. If you look back, some of my first ones were just black screen, even the ones I do from work. Twitter's not always a nice place, but Dolphins Twitter, we're a family. So I decided to go ahead and start doing it. And then, to be honest, I did a couple of the carols, and you're the one that came up with some of the great ideas for me, and I just ran with it. It's kind of a sickness. I can't stop.
Keep it going. Nobody wants you to stop. Like literally nobody wants you to stop. And for me, I have like one of the worst voices. People will probably rather listen to like nails on a chalkboard, but I do like to play with words and to have fun with parody. So you are a muse for me, and I'm just going to keep the words flowing to you.
Hey, the one you thought of this morning was great.
Geographically, I was inaccurate geographically. I appreciate you correcting me.
I corrected it. 3 minutes. That's what it took me. You put it out there. It took 3 minutes. I said to the wife, I said, I don't know if that one's in my range. And she goes, oh, stop it. Record it. So I did.
I love it. I love it.
She's my biggest fan.
A couple of weeks ago, you were telling me stories on how like the family like loved that you do this, but they were like, oh, you're doing it. Do it more. Do it more.
Yes,
so I love the encouragement. So I think you're wearing a Wilkins jersey right now. Are you not?
Always. That's my boy. That's who I represent. I don't know if you can see it. I'm not too good with the camera here. There we go.
Beautiful.
24.
Beautiful. So before we talk about some game analysis, you have been instrumental in helping out with the Bill Hetrick Fund.
Yes, sir.
And we hit the goal this morning.
Fantastic.
And you have been awesome with getting the word out. And we checked last night. You IM'd me, and we were IMing each other that we were closing in. And all of a sudden, I checked right before the show, and it was at 1,000. And I'm like, all right, are we at a glitch? Is that like the raised? Whoa, we hit. We hit.
Yeah.
And look, this isn't something. I'm not like a comfortable like name dropper. People who want to know who donated, the names are there, but someone who literally is going to be playing inches from the jersey wearer of what you're putting on your body right now, a Dolphin family member got us to the goal. A starting defensive player, a Dolphin family member got us to the goal. This fan base, whether it's a former player, whether it's a friend of or a close relative to a player, a current player, fans, we all seem to just gravitate towards helping. And that's just, I think, from what Don Shula put into the organization, from what organizations within the organization, like the Dolphins Cancer Challenge, the bike races that they do, everything that they do to help raise money and raise for cause. We're here to help honor Bill Hetrick and what he does down at his museum in Mississippi.
I think we were destined for that. Our franchise, the original founder was St. Jude's, right? Created St. Jude's. So
yes, correct.
It's a thing that's just part of our fan base and our franchise and what we do. And, we instill camaraderie, take care of one another. Dolphin Nation can move mountains.
Really well said. And you yourself, other than ideas, time, creativity, you are donating something that we're going to put up now. You got it on you? You got it right there? There it is. Where you got it? Right there we go. That is a Alabama Tua jerseyed autograph. Beautiful card. It's kind of like translucent. Or is it like transparenty? What
no, yeah, it's transparent. And then I have it in a protective seal, of course. That's also transparent. But the card is transparent. You can see right through it.
I love those.
It's, Trinity Clear card it's called, and it's it's worth a little bit of little bit of change, but that's not what we're about. We're about trying to connect this to somebody that donated to Bill Hetrick's causes and is a Dolphin fan and will appreciate this card.
I think this card is going to be definitely going to a top end donor, someone who definitely hit the numbers. We're gonna feature that card, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about the game, and then we'll see. We'll gather the names here, and I'll do my best to multitask. But I see 3 or 4 or 5 names already that we might throw into a hat and see who's going to get the Tua card. And I will say that. The good thing with all this technology these days, this is going to be taped. I'm going to rewatch this. Anything that we do, I'll know the name. I'll reach out to me, DM wise. I will make sure all the cards get to where they're going. Postage, don't worry about anything. And we will make sure that by the end of this football week, so maybe like Tuesday morning, we'll wrap it all up. Because now that we hit the goal, we're playing with kind of house goodness. I don't know what else to say here. I don't know what else to say here. But I want to keep this going for as much as we can. And we're going to get these great cards to great people. And I do know that some of our other friends in the community, Patch Vibes, Dolphins Talk out there, we have Ian Berger and Josh Hobbs, as referenced before, are really helping spreading the word. So thank you to everyone out there who will help. We have all those things coming throughout the day, weekend, and now, as I mentioned, through the football week.
And thank you to our followers. A lot of our followers have retweeted our tweets, trying to reach their followers, because that's what it's all about, is the network connecting one another. This was kind of sudden on us with Bill passing. $1,000 is going to be well received by the charities that he championed. But this is just, a drop in the bucket for what we can do as Dolphin fans and a community. We've come to know each other pretty well here this past season. And I hope that this is just a stepping stone to even bigger things, more philanthropic things that we can do. Whatever we can do to make to represent Dolphin Nation and our Miami Dolphins, which are the best franchise in the NFL.
Absolutely. 1,000%. Very, very, very well said. So let's talk a little offense with Jack. Jack, to thank you, Jack. Jack, I know, is running out prior to the game, doing his thing before kickoff. So we appreciate Jack Zulo. Check him out. He is a brilliantly funny man on his Fin Rants and everything else. So we spoke defense a lot. Let's talk a little offense. Talk to me about Jalen Waddle. I mean, how valuable has he been to Tua's development and confidence?
So I got a little different perspective on this. I saw some stats today. That Jalen Waddle is not even in the top 100 receivers in the NFL in yards per catch. And so the people that do not see Miami Dolphin football, that don't understand what it is that we're doing and why we're in the midst of a 7-game win streak, don't get it and think that he's just a dink and dunk kind of guy. He's a move the chains guy who can turn it upfield in a flash, and almost did have one breakaway long touchdown this year. We're not asking him to do those things in this offense. He's a chain mover. He's a ball possession receiver. For our offense, we use the RPO in the short passing game as a run game. We control the clock and keep our defense fresh so they can go out there and do what they do, playing at an elite level, 7 games in a row, giving up 11 points average. So, but they couldn't do that if the Miami Dolphins are going 3 and out every series. So this all works hand in hand. So Waddle is, I think we're just seeing just a tiny little bit of what Waddle can be. We kind of needed that. If you're going to do all the different maneuvering we did and use a top 6 pick on a receiver, he better, produce. And oh my gosh, has he produced? But I don't think we've even seen a sliver of what Jalen Waddle is going to do in this league and for our team.
I agree. And I had a little bit of a stat crunch this morning because, look, I mean, everyone was even saying in the first month of the season, look what Jamar Chase is doing. We're not winning games. Waddle's not getting past 6-7 yards a catch. first 8 games of the season, Bill, he had 6 catches a game on average, even, for 8.6 yards per catch, which really is almost like a very good running back. Like if Austin Eckler said that that's what he was doing per catch, we'd be like, that's great. If Myles Gaskin was doing that, that's great. But for a wide receiver, it's a little south. So the last win streak and through games 9 through current, he's had 8 catches per game at 11 yards a catch.
There you
so
go.
He's gained 2 catches per game, and he's gained nearly 3 yards, above that mark. So, I mean, that's big numbers on average.
Yeah. I mean, there's receivers out there that are averaging, 15, 16, and 18 yards per catch, but those guys don't have the receptions that Waddle does. And so it's a give or take. You always want, a guy that's going to be out there and can stretch the field. That's great. But the best receivers in history are possession receivers, guys that have basket full of catches and move the ball and get you your first down. And I know that for the first time in a long time, when it's 3rd and 6, 3rd and 8, I'm not scared like I used to be. I'm like, throw it to Waddle. And they do. And so, I think, it's very impressive what they've done. Winning will help stats, right? The more you win, the more the stats are better, obviously. But, the whole team has rallied around this. Man, you see the camaraderie among those guys, how much they love each other and playing for each other. And, you got the defensive guys running out on offensive plays and the offense guys running out on defensive plays. And all of this is just, we're in year 3 of a rebuild, Jason, right? Dolphins Nation winning sometimes takes away what we're doing here. They forget that, and they're like, they want more and more and more. I get it. But we're only in year 3 of a rebuild. And for our team to be in contention and possibly having a winning record back-to-back years in a rebuild, they're doing some things right. And Waddle's a huge part of it. And so is Tua.
Surprise, surprise. They drafted a guy who Tua has familiarity with, who is a chain mover and look, my favorite offensive player in the history of my fandom, everyone knows it really who follows me, is O.J. McDuffie.
Yep.
That was growing up in the 90s. And then when we drafted Jarvis Landry, everyone started calling him Juice. And I started getting upset. I'm like, no, O.J. McDuffie is Juice. But Jarvis is really good. And in fact, if you look at the top 5 seasons in terms of receptions in Dolphins history, there are 3 names: Juice, and Jalen. Because now Jalen Waddle has become this security blanket.
That's saying something, because we've had a corral of great receivers over the years.
Oh God, yeah.
So for Jalen to do this in his rookie season in a somewhat restrained offense, a challenged offense, for him to be able to do what he's doing is nothing. The word that comes to mind is promise. I mean, I just see this guy, to the moon.
It's a good word, promise, because that's exactly what, and you mentioned it, year 3 of the rebuild. It's promise and progress, so as long as there's progress and not regression, offensively and creativity and play call and scheme and execution, I'm happy. So, and that we've been seeing that. We've been seeing 75, 80% completion percentage from Tua. This is a game we might have to see less of the completion percentage, more of the shots downfield. I mean, look, the Titans have weapons, minus Derrick Henry, what have you. A.J. Brown's a beast. Ryan Tannehill does a very good job of extending the plays for Tennessee, and we've always had a little bit of trouble with the mobile quarterback. So we got to talk Tannehill a little bit. But before we talk Tannehill, I'm going to do a Tannehill tease. I came up with a solution. I've figured out the randomizer of names. I have a lot of the top-end donors in terms of the Tua raffle that we're going to do. But here's what I want to do. The 2 top-end donors, I'm going to put their names in twice. And the other about 6 or 7 donors, I'm going to put their names in once for the Tua card.
Okay.
After this drawing, I'm going to take the second name of the top 2 out, keep them in for the previous drawings. Once you win a card, we're going to take the name out of the randomizer.
Right.
If anybody comes on in with a donation, we'll throw their name in the randomizer. And
Good.
we've already, like I mentioned, the Tua card has gone out. We've done a couple of off-camera award ceremonies. Was trying to get to that analogy with Jack, and then we went off the cuff and we went improv. But yeah, we've handed out some cards already to some donors. So
Okay.
we thank everyone. And let me try to share the screen here, Bill. And once I could share it, we'll have the randomizer. I think I got this. Do I have it up?
Yes, sir.
We're seeing the randomizer?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
There it is.
There we go. All right. We've done it. So now, Bill, you want to throw up that card? What we're spinning?
Here we go.
Lawrence Pesky, Kelly Cox coming in as 2 of our top-end donors. And look, the name that I referenced, again, I don't like to kind of do this, but we've had a Dolphin person, someone close and related to an actual physical Miami Dolphin right now, put us over the top. And we're not going to obviously put that name in there because they've got a lot of memorabilia on their own, of course. And that person has already told me numerous times when you to the people. So
yeah.
Those names aren't in there. We have our good community members. So should I give it a spin, Bill?
Let's do it.
We're spinning.
Oh boy.
We're spinning. I'm very glad because it's Kelly Cox. There it is.
All right. That's yours.
Kelly is going to get the Tua card.
Fantastic.
Actually, I'm extremely happy for Kelly. I'm even more happy that I did this and it worked.
Me too.
Bill, see, there you go. I'm already doing something where things are weird.
I see it. It went back out.
We got it.
We got it. We did it.
My 10-year-old Brandon, Bill, has already surpassed my technical skills and knowledge.
Oh, yeah. I'm with you. My 19-year-old daughter handles everything for me. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
I don't know what I'm doing. He runs the house.
I'm old, Jason.
Say again?
I'm old. I'm old.
You're looking very good, my friend. What are you, 41?
I'm 55 and a half, sir.
You're looking 41.
All right. We'll go with that. My wife's laughing.
I'm glad to get the laugh, and I'm glad to get your wife endorsing your song. Could you give us a little holiday jingle? I know the holiday season's over, but is there any of what's your favorite Christmas Dolphin parody song? By the way, Bill, I have good news.
Yes, sir.
The numbers came in. We were the #1 Twitter Dolphin fan-made Christmas parody album on YouTube in the nation.
In the nation. Probably in history. I'm just going to probably throw that
#1, baby.
#1 of 1. But yeah, fantastic. Hey, that was all your idea, and I was glad to be a part of that. I would say my favorite that we've done so far, by far, is the tribute to the Miami Miracle and done to Jingle Bells. New England Smells. That was by far the best. I think that was the most well received because everybody connected to it in a way. And anything that says Gronkowski fell is going to win. But my personal favorite was
Gronkowski as a lyric.
Yes, I put it in there. And it worked. It rhythmically flowed. But no, my personal favorite though was Little Drummer Boy. That was my favorite.
Honestly, you can't miss with me. And I say just keep on going. And I didn't even get a chance. You did another one today about the PhinManiac ladies. Is that true?
Oh no. So that was about a month and a half ago. That's an original tune. That's not a parody. That's just all lyrics, all music by me. It's called Dolphin Lady. And a good one of my best followers, Jerry. He goes by
Jerry
Z. Yeah, so he's doing something with that. He's already laid down guitar tracks to that. He's got somebody working on it in Ohio that's going to be putting percussion and a beat down to it. We're going to have a little rap in front of it, then me performing my part. It's going to be something huge, and Jerry is really, really attached to that. And it's just a tribute to all of our Dolphin ladies. You know, I was spurred on by Jerry because somebody was trashing Jen, Jennifer.
Yes,
And,
yes, of course.
Yeah, and so somebody was trashing her, and it was just a way to defend them and kind of say, listen, Dolphin ladies are fans of the fan base too, and they represent a big part of who we are in our community. And so that's all it was. It was just something to honor them.
I love that. And
my wife's a Dolphin lady, by the way. My wife of 33 years together, is a Dolphin lady, the original Dolphin lady.
I love it. What the one and only Dolphin lady, right, Bill? I got you. I got you, Miss Turnbull.
That's my lady.
But we're gonna talk more Titans. We're gonna do more raffles. What time do we got here? We got about an hour and change. I'll let everyone get situated around a quarter to 1 prior to kickoff. But we have more time, and you're hanging out. We're in for another hour, Bill. We're gonna do about 10, 15 more cards here. Let's see. We talked about Jalen Waddle. So this is going to be a fun one. We're going to put a Waddle card up and an Xavier Howard card up because we're going to put them two together.
Fantastic.
We're going to do two together. This is a Waddle patch card. It wasn't a game-worn patch. You're going to do that now? You're going to make me jealous with the bacon? I didn't have bacon this morning. Now
Jason, my initials are BLT. Come on.
Have you ever thrown mayo on the BLT? A little line of mayo on there?
Yeah, it's mayo, salt, pepper, bacon, lettuce, and tomato. But I'll tell you the truth. When I eat one, I usually give the tomato to my wife.
I'm a BLT without the T.
Yeah. There you go. That's me.
Okay. Little jealous. Not gonna lie. All right, so we got the Jalen Waddle patch. And we got the Xavier. Look, I'll tell you, iron sharpening iron in practice. I mean, I know that's like different kind of areas of the field, but I'm just saying, like, they probably don't really get a chance to match up one-on-one, at least I would imagine. But top end. Gotta love that. So
two huge parts of our team. That's going to make somebody really, really happy.
We'll do that. And every time I send cards, I always throw a little bit of a bonus in there. So we'll have some fun. So, let's do it now. Let's do it. Let's do it. That just means I have to go 2 for 2 in this, and we're gonna take Kelly out. Kelly is already enjoying life because she's got the 2 autographs. So congratulations, Kelly. And
Congrats,
I'm gonna keep Lawrence in here twice because Lawrence still deserves.
Yeah. High-end donor. Yes.
I fumfered that plan, but Lawrence is still in twice because he's our lead guy, and so is Tara. Tara's a PhinManiac, but Tara deserves her name in there twice because she was.
Thank you for your donation. Thank you, Tara.
Tara's in there twice, and we are going to spin right now.
Let's do it.
After I share, because we got to get this on. All right. Is that a drum roll?
That's the drum roll.
We did it. All right. We are spinning.
Come on. Who's the winner?
Waddle and X. And there we go. Tara. And Tara's not feeling terrific. I'm going to send these directly to her. I hope she gets better. And she's terrific. I really love Tara. She does PhinManiacs Live on Tuesday with Joy. Joy and Tara, the PhinManiacs ladies. I love them. They are live, uncensored every Tuesday. Congratulations to Tara, and feel better, Tara.
She tweeted out it was 27 degrees when she woke up this morning, and she's under the weather, so that wasn't cool. So I told her the remedy, the cure for how she's feeling is going to be a Dolphin win today. So maybe this will help.
I hope so. So, Tara, feel good. Get yourself better. I know she will be talking to the television like we all do.
Yes.
Or
Talking. Yes, that's what she'll be doing. Talking.
So let's talk Tanny Hill.
Okay.
What do we got to do, man?
Well, I love me some Ryan. I know I've got 2 songs out there that are parodies of him. I love Ryan, but he doesn't wear aqua and orange anymore. So he's got to, we've got to contain what he can do. Now, he's not, Aaron Rodgers. Let's be honest. He's ranked about 15th in the league right now, barely in the top half. He's leading the league in interceptions as well. Ryan gets a little rattled in the pocket. And which team in the NFL is leading the league in sacks? Oh, that's right, the Miami Dolphins. Which team is leading the league in quarterback hits? That's right, it's the Miami Dolphins. So what we have to do, in my opinion, and I'm nobody, but my opinion is do what we do. Zero. Now, the caveat to that is not to let A.J. Brown get free, right? So we can't necessarily do zero blitz, cover zero. We can't necessarily do that because you're gambling there. And it only takes him to get free once, and it's 6, right? So I think what they're going to do is continue to pressure, give him lots of different looks. I haven't seen if Brandon Jones has cleared protocols and is going to play yet or not. Did you happen to see that?
I didn't catch that. I haven't seen the inactives tweet yet.
All
That's
right.
usually about like a half hour before.
I know he was cleared yesterday and activated, but he still had to clear protocols. But regardless, they've got Riley. They got lots of different guys that they bring in and to put pressure on the quarterback. So, they got to do what they've been doing all this, especially this last 7 games. They got to pressure Ryan into making mistakes and then let that defense feast. And that's the only way to contain him. But I just don't think they can go cover zero because you don't want Brown. You saw what he did last week, right? I mean, he ate a guy alive. I mean, he had a knife and fork while he was running down the field. He ate him alive. And so now that was a cornerback 3, right? Their cornerbacks are out. They're not X and Jones. So, you would hope that, he's not going to have that type of success against our secondary. But you still can't gamble with that because we're talking about, the whole season in a nutshell here. We've got to. So I think they're going to throw some looks at him. They're going to put pressure on him. If he makes a couple mistakes early, like we saw what happened last week, then the game's in our control and we can dictate play from there. But I'm excited. I really, I said this to you once before. I don't always predict Dolphin wins. I'm kind of a realist, but I really, really feel we're going to get the W today. I just, karma says we're going to win. I just really feel it.
I honestly feel it too. And look, when people ask me a score prediction or people ask me, I'm not a guy who loves to go the other way and predict the loss. The last time, and I will admit it, I was on a Baltimore Ravens fan podcast 2 months ago, and I said, I was asked point, I think I called it Ravens going to win, but going to give you all heart attacks, like 1916 or something like that. And I was like a good miss in terms of that.
Right.
I have not called. I'm not showing off about this, but I've been reluctant to pick against them after I've seen them against the Texans and the Ravens in those short times. So I am going to stick with the win, and I'm going to stick in a very similar score. And like that, we'll do the scores a little later. We'll do the scores stuff a little later. But I don't think there's a game where they take the momentum off. I agree with you where you can't let a guy like an A.J. Brown get free, or the last thing you need is to see Tannehill float what could be a Tannehill duck, but it turns out to be an A.J. Brown jump ball touchdown. Because as Dolphin fans, we've all seen, early memories of, or most recent memories of a guy named like Antonio Brown destroying the Dolphins. That's the kind of skill of a receiver that really destroys the Dolphins, and that's where A.J. Brown is kind of headed. So I'm worried about the big play. Flustering Tannehill with the Javon Holland on the edge, with the Nick Needham on the edge, with the Brandon Jones. If he's the defensive backs getting to the quarterback, best in the league. That's statistical. I mean, Brandon Jones, top defensive back.
He's leading the league. Yeah, but as a group, they're leading the league as well.
Correct. And mathematically, or in a numerological experiment, Ryan Tannehill is 17, right, Bill?
Yes.
1 plus 7 is 8.
Yes.
Who's number 8?
Javon Holland.
He's getting a sack today.
Woo! You called it.
Science. It's
Plus,
mathematical.
that'll be our 8th win. That'll be our 8th win in a row.
Correct.
In
Keep
a
going.
row.
How many wins do we have now?
Yeah, we have 8 now.
Exactly.
If we win today, it's our 8th win in a row. All of that says Javon Holland's going to come up big today. I like this. I like this sinking.
The ball out of his hand, and it's like a strip sack, and somebody scores a touchdown.
Ooh.
What's 7 minus 1 for Ryan Tannehill's 17 number?
6.
How much is a touchdown worth?
6.
It's math and science. Javon Holland's going to create 6 points today. Done.
Okay, I'll go with that. I could see him getting a strip sack and somebody, I don't know, say Van Ginkel picks it up and runs it in.
I don't think my heart can handle that.
Well, it would be appropriate since, it's kind of tied into what we're doing today, right?
You know what? It would be appropriate. Karma could.
I know you didn't want to call him out, but
we didn't want to name drop. We didn't want to name drop anybody.
We didn't want to name drop.
but
that was a hint. That was a hint.
We had Mrs. Van Ginkel and Hannah Cook, the fiance of Zach Sealer, on a couple weeks back on the PhinManiacs Ladies Night podcast. Some terrific stories. You all could check that out. But there's a lot of thanks out there. Just some terrific people in that Dolphin community. So, you want to do another raffle?
Let's do it.
Let's do another raffle.
We got a lot to give away.
We got a lot to give away, and I'm going to do a lot right now. And you know what? Timing is perfect, because let's face it, we're Dolphin fans. Timing is everything. Tom and Ursi of DolphinTalk.com. How
hey!
What's up, guys?
How's everything going?
Morning.
Tom, I did the randomizer right. How proud are you of me?
Good job, man. That's the beginning.
I was gonna panic DM you and be like, dude, you've done this before. I haven't. How do you do this? But I figured it out.
Listen. The easy part is the randomizer. The hard part is making sure you don't bend the cards, putting them into the cases.
That I've been pretty good at, because my OCD has cardboard. I got top loaders. I got everything. I'm so meticulous with getting these cards staying in good condition.
Right.
You are a card guru. You're like my mentor in this card game. So I think it's appropriate for the next auction item to be a rather rare item that I need you to appraise. I think you've seen this in my collection. It's the Emmanuel Ogbah no name. There's no name.
No namer.
Wow.
Is it
Love
called
the no
namer?
name.
What does the industry call this, Tom?
That is otherwise known as the Panini gaff. They screw it up. They screw it up. It's not the first card that I've seen really in any part of 2021 at this point. There have been multiple cards from different types of boxes. So whether it was Donruss, whether it was like the Chronicles and stuff like, there's typically one name missing off a card. Or my personal favorite, Jason, is the Jarrett Patterson cards.
I got like 3 of them, the non-Patterson cards.
They're not Patterson.
It's not him.
It's not him.
Bill.
That's probably the funniest one I've seen so far this year.
It's so funny. And the funniest thing is why I love that so much. That's a fellow alumnus of me, Buffalo, the university.
Maybe.
I got 2 of them. I got Starks and I got Khalil Mack, other than my guy, Jarrett Patterson. His absolute football card, Bill, from Boynton, is not him. I think it's like a 5th string tight end who didn't make the team.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen somebody put that on Twitter before. Hilarious.
I had no idea, Jason, you went to UB.
Yeah, I thought, you're a Rochester guy. Wow, we really should have spoken about that.
I actually went to college at Niagara.
There you go. About 15, 20 minutes of a drive. There it is from Buffalo. Yeah. So let's do this here. We got the no-name Panini Gaff Emmanuel Ogbah, which leaves us to a little bit of talk on Ogbah. I think he's priority 1 in the retention game of the offseason, guys. Not necessarily bringing in linemen. That's priority 1 in free agent signing and draft, is to solidify the offensive line. But in terms of retaining people, Emmanuel Ogba is number one. And what I also am going to do, Tom, you've been in our chat with Bill and a number of other people in the Dolphins social media world. Patch Vibes. We all love Patch Vibes.
Yep.
They are going to donate an awesome 305 trucker hat.
Awesome.
I cannot multitask and find the picture at the exact moment, but we'll get it up. We're going to put that hat on Ogba, and the winner of this is going to get both the hat and the Ogba card.
Awesome.
Sweet.
So that will be a really fun cap of a day for the winner.
I'll throw this up one more time for everyone to see it.
Oh, that's beautiful. Read exactly what that is in terms of the year and the make of the card.
So this is Tua's rookie card. It's called Panini Phoenix. So that is something that comes out regularly every single year. It's the Phoenix brand from Panini. This is a Fireburst card. So it's hard to really see it without like a nice, beautiful light on it. But that's got some real nice prism to it. And obviously we know who that guy is. It's Tua Tagovailoa. And this is graded from PSA.
I love that. Now, another card, just, again, you are the guru in the room here. There's a lot of grading services out there. There's PSA, there's BCG, all these different brands. Is PSA like the holy grail of graders?
PSA has been the holy grail of graders. If you have a card that has some rarity to it, if it's, something that you feel can get graded as a 10, you send it to PSA.
Okay.
PSA 10 versus say, Beckett BGS 10 is night and day. It's a huge, huge difference between the two of them. But PSA just reopened. So if you card guru, card guys out there, card gals, if you have a card that you feel has tremendous value, you can spend $100 right now, or about 150. Do the express service. You got the auto. You'll have the card back probably within a month, and then you have a beautiful slab like this. I bought this off of eBay. I didn't have PSA was shut down at the time, so I bought that off of eBay. There is one other brand that I like. Let me grab my card here. If you guys are looking to grade cards and you're not looking to resell or anything like that, HGA is the most beautiful slab in the market.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, nice. This is a Tua Silver rookie card. And if you get a 10 grade from HGA, that is more rare than a PSA 10.
Wow.
Their grading services are far and away more strict than PSA, in my opinion.
Good. See, that's why you're the guru. That's the excellent knowledge drop, Tom. Thank you very much. So we will do a spin here. Let me share the screen. Okay, we got it. All right, everybody. We are spinning. Oh, John Amar is the winner of the Ogba and the hat.
Patch Vibes.
Courtesy
Nice.
of Patch Vibes.
Thank you.
Way to go, John.
Good job, John. Thank you so much for the donation. And thank you so much to Patch Vibes. We appreciate you. And we'll, again, John, we'll get a chance to DM and we'll figure it all out. We will get that on over to you.
Yep.
ASAP. So go ahead, Tom.
What I was going to say is, for when the time comes for this card to go up, I will also add in an additional bonus to a rookie card.
And what I'll do is I'll throw in a couple of Tuas myself on that lot.
Woo!
Let's
Good
see what we
Lord.
got.
Yeah.
See what we got.
Yeah, I this one's not for auction or sale. I just got this one in not too long ago. Actually, I got a few I got to showcase off to you guys. This is why the card game is fun. This is why collecting is fun. This is what Bill loved to do, is collect, right?
Right.
So I went out, found one of these.
Oh, sweet. That's the out of this world?
Out of this world, but it's not
Beautiful.
the base. That, my friend, is the Cosmic.
Oh, wow.
So it's got a little bit more in-depth work on the prism itself. So Jalen Waddle, obviously we know and love him. Also got this really sick 3-patch Jalen Waddle gold standard.
That's gorgeous.
That is numbered to 49.
That's 49 of that version of the card.
This is 19 out of 49. I wish it was 17 out of 49 because the number of the jersey,
Right.
Number is great.
Oh,
We all
I love
know
that.
We all know this guy. We all know this guy. We love this guy.
Oh, that's sweet.
Hello, Javon Holland.
And that looks numbered too.
10.
Wow.
That's 5 out of 10. This is the Introductions Immaculate Collection Collegiate. So this is
Hollywood.
This is a very I'm not a huge proponent of the college unis, but when you get a low number and the ink, can't pass that up.
100% agree.
This our buddy again, Jalen Waddle. Nice fat patch on that one. That one is also numbered. This is 14 out of 125.
Beauty.
This is from the Panini Black. So that's strictly a hobby box.
That's a little box of like 5 cards for like $500.
Yep.
It's literally what they're going for. I'm going to throw this too. I pulled this out last night. One of the box breaks that I did, the Tua Dominator.
Nice.
So we're going to throw this Tua Dominator on top of the Tuas that are going out. And of course, some other Tua stuff. And
we need him to dominate today.
Say again?
We need him to dominate today.
That's a beautiful segue. And in terms of what he needs to do is, of course, continue the accuracy. We have to limit the mistakes, Tom and Bill. What I love about Tua, though, is when he makes the mistake, and this is almost remarkable. I need to quantify this like statistically, but he throws an interception. The next offensive possession that the Dolphins have, they happen to score a touchdown. It's almost like he falls down 7 times, gets up 8, Tom.
Yep. It's one of the things that I brought up on some of my shows recently is, it's incredible to me watching him turn the ball over. That pick 6 against the Jets could have just been absolutely a flatlining moment to the season. And then on the very next drive, he throws a touchdown pass. So it's, if he can learn to, minimize those poor throws, those poor mistakes, where he's just trying to do too much. He's got to learn to take sacks better. He's got to learn just to get the ball out, get outside the pocket and just throw it away. Those are the things that can propel him to the next level.
Bill?
This is who he is, though. He's always done this. When in the national championship game, they were down in the red zone, and he took a really ugly, bad, ill-advised sack, like a 25-yard loss, and then the very next play, they score the touchdown that wins them the ball game. So that's just kind of who Tua is.
Yeah.
Some guys have that in their DNA, right? They're guys. I mean, Marino was like that. Marino would go out and throw a bad pick, and then come down the field and just say, "Oh yeah," and then throw a 35-yard strike over the middle for a touchdown or something. He just fearless. Just guys that just they kind of sometimes when adversity comes their way, they rise to another level.
Yep.
Kind of a quick little segue back talk to the quarterbacks that we saw in the 90s, Marino, and then a little bit, after Marino, the Peyton Mannings, the Brett Favres. These guys threw interceptions. Peyton Manning broke a record as a rookie. And then Dan Marino, in an era that was not full of Twitter and immediate response, he would throw some picks.
He threw a lot of picks.
I mean, how many times would we see a stat line of 349, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks?
Exactly.
And that just happens. It's okay.
Yeah.
This day and age, you throw an interception, everyone on Twitter is ready to replace you. So that's just the nature of the beast.
That's a different era, though. back then, it was skewed towards the defense. And so you expected to throw interceptions. If a guy had 20 and 15 on a year, it was considered a good year by most standards, team standards. 20 and 30 and 15 is a phenomenal year. But Tua has stats that mirror 30 and 15, and it's like he's not having a good year. You're like, what are you talking about?
Right.
So it's all about the era.
It's a very weird statistical flip of an era. But yeah, you're absolutely right. And in a couple of minutes, we will give away that Tua lot. And of course, Tom, thank you very much for
of course.
Putting those cards up. It's 12:15. We'll go till around 12:40, and then everyone can get settled on in for the game. And then throughout the day, we have a couple of really, really big cards that we're going to put up. Particularly, the two biggest that I'm offering is the Bob Greasy rookie. Now, Tom, this might not be his rookie from the year. This is like the first card of his. So I think year-wise, it's like a year or two after his first season because it says 2 years pro. But this is his first Dolphin.
That's the first card that he had, right?
Correct.
That's awesome.
Right.
And this is, I think we're gonna really figure out the right person to get this to. It's an OJ McDuffie autograph that literally is still, the ink is still fresh from Monday night.
That's fantastic.
Back it up. OJ, much like a lot of Dolphins who played in the 90s, the 2000s, there are friends on Twitter. Richmond Webb. Bill, I know you could help us out and tell more about Mr. Webb a little bit later in the show before we get off and get to the game. But these Dolphins have become friends of ours, and they're amazing people. They were coached by Don Shula. So they're philanthropic. They're charitable. They literally jump at chances to help.
They're inclusive. They really include us in all the glory that comes with being a Miami Dolphin fan. They're fans
awesome
too.
It's just awesome. I mean, I don't know if that happens across other fan bases. I don't know if Wayne Corbett is out there DMing people in the Jet country. Yeah, I really don't. I have no idea. No. I liked Wayne Corbett growing up, but I don't know if Al Toon is out there,
Are you picking on the Jets right now?
Say again?
Are you picking on the Jets right now?
I never pick on the Jets. But I'm also a New Yorker living as a fish out of water my entire life. So this is all revenge making fun of the Jets. So we might as well do the drawing. Let's do the drawing.
Let's do it. We got so much to give away. Let's do it.
All right. Now, we'll do this drawing, and then I'll see if there's any other names that came into the fray here.
Yeah.
Lawrence, it would be nice if Lawrence got a hit here. So we'll do the Tua lot. So what are we doing, Tua, Tom, on your end for Tua?
We got the
fire starter.
We got the legacy rookie.
Beautiful.
And we got the Fireburst Phoenix PSA 9.
That's really fantastic. That's some good stuff right there. So let's spin it after I share. I got some sort of a text streak going on here, fellas. All right. Here we go.
I'm spending 1,000 a day.
Good winner. We got Lawrence Pesky, who is a top-end donor. He has got
that's good.
Nice
Congrats, man.
Of Tua cards.
Way to go, Lawrence.
That was awesome.
Thank you for donating, Lawrence. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Gentlemen, I got to run. I just wanted to be on here for this, but enjoy the game. Everyone, thank you for donating to the cause. Sarny, let me know where you need me to send these. I'll get them packaged up for you.
You're the best, Tom. Thank you. Dolphins.
Thanks, Tom. Fins up.
Fins up. Let's go, guys.
One of the OGs, and Tom is part of that crew. Michael Leva, you guys do phenomenal work. Reading your work is one of the guys and groups that has inspired me to get up out there and get on the social. So thanks, Tom, and I appreciate
you, man.
As a friend.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. See you later. Fins up.
You got it. All right, Bill. We're doing good here. And I got to still say that the most impressive streak in Miami is my ability to share the screen, not the 8 games. So
the randomizer, that and 1,000.
It works. I thought I was going to pull the plug on this whole outfit here, and we were going to go dark. So let's talk more Titan and Dolphin matchup. Titans got a good defense, man. I mean, let's just like paint it. They got a really good defense. Other than Tua, give me an unsung hero, a name that you're looking for. We got like 4 or 5 candidates on offense. Who's the guy that you're looking to help us out today that might be that third or fourth quarter spark that's like exciting? There he is.
I think it's going to come from the tight end group. I think not necessarily Gesicki, but when you have the Titans have, one of the best D lines in the league, right? But they're different than the Saints D line that we just saw. The Saints D line is speed and aggression and off the edges, and they just come at you. The Titans have what I would call a smart defense, right? They throw a lot of stunts, they have a lot of movement, they show you a lot of looks, similar to what we do. And our line has struggled somewhat, so that could be a problem. It's also going to be a wet ball. It's going to be cold, a little bit of wind. So I think that you have to either run it backs out of the backfield on after they stay in and they chip and then they release, or quick hitters to the tight end group, because you're going to run a lot of 1-2 packages, right, to try to have extra people in the block. So I'm hoping that Tua does what he does, goes through his progressions quickly and finds the open guy, because somebody's going to be open, and they move the ball in that way. And I kind of think Shaheen or Smythe, probably Shaheen, but Shaheen or Smythe or Gesicki winds up having a little bit bigger day than they have. Now, all those guys have been contributing lately. Even Hunter Long's been in blocking well and part of the packages there. But I really think it's got to come from that tight end group, or the running back out of the backfield on a release is where you're going to see it. Because it's not going to be easy in those conditions to be throwing the ball downfield. That doesn't mean you don't take your chances. You got to keep the defense honest, right? I'd love to see on the first drive they go deep down the sidelines and make them think, whoa, the Dolphins are, we got to play them straight up now. We can't just blitz the quarterback. So, but that's my guess, is that it comes from one of those, either the running back out of the backfield or a tight end group.
I love the way Durham Smythe has been playing, and I love the versatility that he brings, because he's the blocker. He's a phenomenal blocker. He also has they've ran him a couple of times. He's also a guy who makes timely catches. Give me a guy, I think the number's around 70%. In the last 2 seasons, 70% of his catches have gone for first downs. I will double check that. Last year, it was 80%. So unless he drastically decreased that,
especially in the red zone.
Especially in the red zone. Very good call. So you know what? If he has a stat line of 3 catches for 15 or 21 yards, and one of them's a touchdown, the rest of them are first downs on 3rd and medium, 3rd and short, that's what he brings to this team, as well as everything else that you don't see on the stat line. And this tight end room gives me a vibe of like the 2008 Wildcat tight end group of Fasano. You had Joey Hanos. You had like a weird eclectic group of people who collectively had
nobody stood out, but they all contributed. They all put up numbers, and it was a pick your day. It wasn't a really fantasy league type kind of friendly team, right? Our group, but that's what being a team is about, right?
Right.
We don't need those huge stat lines, the Devontae Adams stat lines and some of these other guys that are out there, where every week you just bank on that. That's all fine and good for what you're doing. But for our team, every day it's somebody different. Waddle's been the consistent number, right? He's the guy that's been doing it consistently. But Matt Collins has had big games. Isaiah Ford's had big games. We've seen, 2 weeks ago, Duke Johnson have a huge game. And Gaskin still had 50-something yards in that game. Anybody can do it. And I think that's kind of exciting for the players too, right? Because they never know when their number is going to get called and they're going to have to contribute. So I really, you would love to see some long down the field stuff, but I don't know if the weather is going to be conducive to that today. So hopefully they just do what the Dolphins do, control the ball, don't make mistakes, get some turnovers on Tannehill, and get this W today.
With the weather and with what you mentioned, other than a team that was kind of led by a Ricky Williams ground attack, no other Miami Dolphin team in recent memory, I think can kind of fit the bill in this kind of weather, not because of a power run game, because of our short game. I mean, we're a short kind of paper cut, kill them, let them bleed out kind of offense where, what I would love to see, you got two New England kind of coaching tree guys with Vrabel and Flores in a New England January-ish kind of weather mucky situation. Yep. So I see like 8 different running backs on each side of the ball combined, touching the ball and running. A lot of different looks from the running game. Gaskin on touches, not just carries. Get him on those, into chip, get outside a little dump and check off. Duke Johnson and Phillip Lindsay's in there. A lot of different running backs kind of really getting this to be an old school style battle.
So the one good thing is this type of weather normally for a team that throws over 65% of the time would be a detriment, but not the Dolphins game. The Dolphins don't throw the ball deep down the field. They throw, 3 and 5 and quick yard outs, and they throw slants, and they throw things that the wind's not going to really mess with. The wet ball might have something to do with it, but Tua doesn't make a lot of mistakes, right? A lot of attention to the couple of interceptions he's had. He's still, 15-8, I think. Listen, the Dolphins can still score in this weather, I believe. It's going to come down to turnovers. It's going to come down to the little things. And honestly, our team doesn't do that now. Penalties might play a part, right? In a wet, cold environment, guys have a tendency to kind of hang on to the jersey a little longer than they should, right? Because they're worried about their footing and some of these other things. So I'm hoping that the refs don't become a big part of this game today. But yeah, it's going to be neat. I can't wait.
It's a really good
about a half hour away.
I think it's also not like the mental penalties. It's like the weather caused him to hold. He slipped. He grabbed the jersey. All contact, incidental, but there's a flag, Yeah. So the weather's going to be a factor. The Jason Sanders. A lot of people are getting on Jason Sanders. Sorry to just completely go off the cuff here. But the kicking game, and I'm going to credit Tara Rosado, because Tara pointed this out a long time back that it might not be Sanders. And I'm not saying it's a detriment, or I don't think Tara was saying it's a detriment to the holder, Michael Pilardi. There's a different – the holy trinity of kicking is the long snapper to the holder to the kicker.
Absolutely.
That's the battery. Last year, you had Matt Hawk do it. Now, that just was familiarity. So maybe it was the way he spun and he put it and he held it. Just there's a change. Right. So maybe that was it. But, today, that's got to be flawless. On a weather situation where the wind and the elements, the technicality and the simplicity of hiking, holding, kicking, that's got to work perfectly for Sanders to be effective, because he misses. He always has the distance. Other than maybe a kick.
He had a career long last week, but they froze him on the right. So, but it wasn't a penalty. It was, I think they just called timeout to freeze him. That was 59 yards, and it was dead down the middle. And then, of course, that's what the freeze is intended to do, is you miss the next one when it counts. But even that one had the distance, and he just had that kind of a quick wobble to it where it moves one direction and then just didn't have enough time to come back in. But he's had a lot of kicks like that this year, unlike last year. Last year, it was pretty much, if he missed, it was a straight miss, right? He pushed left or pushed right. This year, he's had a lot of movement to his ball, and I think it has a lot to do with what you're saying. It's got to have something to do with the way the ball is coming off the foot, and that's not him. That's his motion's the same. His his preparation's the same. Everything's the same, and so it's got to have something to do with the way that the ball is being, delivered to his foot. So hopefully they figure that out. Today would be a great day for Jason Sanders to come up big and win a game and kind of get that monkey off his back. And I think he will. I predict, for me, I don't know if it's okay to throw my prediction out there now. Do you mind? I got 24-23 Miami. And I know that means that the Dolphins are going to score 4 times, and that maybe Tennessee scores 5 times in that scenario. That sounds like a lot of scoring in this type of weather, but I think there's going to be a lot of crappy punts and a lot of short fields, and there's going to be some scoring that normally you wouldn't. I've seen the national pundits out there saying 16-13 and 13-10, and well, they said the same thing last week, and the Dolphins put up 20. So let's go Fins. 24-23. That's my prediction.
You've painted some high blood pressure moments for me in this game. If you are correct with your Van Ginkel scoop and score from the Holland sack and a 1-point victory, you're going to have to check on me intermittently throughout the game. But why don't we do this? Why don't we do another giveaway? Where are we at in terms of, we gave away the 2-a-lot to Lawrence, and more names came in, and I was able to put more names in. We have
fantastic
edition, Matthew Stevens, Corey Mathias, Michael Hafner. I'm going off of memory here, so if I forgot to mention anyone, I'm going to share the screen.
We'll see it on the randomizer.
We'll see it on the randomizer. So again, thank you to everyone out there.
That's a lot of names.
Why don't we do the greasy card?
Let's do the greasy card.
Let's do the greasy card. Now, I never got the ability to see this man play because
I did.
I was not around in 1972. But could you give me a greasy moment, Bill?
I'll tell you my first game.
Please do.
1974, October 27th, I think it was.
Wow.
I was 8 years old, and I got to see the Dolphins against the Colts. I remember, I think Benny Malone scored. I think Don Nottingham scored, and I think they both had 100 yards. And the thing that I took from that game was, they ran. So anytime Greasy threw the ball was pretty amazing. But I remember Greasy dropped back, and he was about to get sacked, and he kind of just did this little shuffle to the right and kind of slung the ball, which is something that every quarterback does now, right? That little sidearm kind of thing, but it wasn't something back then. And I remember 8 years old jumping out of my chair at the old Orange Bowl and just absolutely in love with it. So that's one of my greasy memories. Was my first time, and I was wearing a Dolphin T-shirt that my grandfather bought for me, and it was just the best thing ever. And I've been a fan since I was 5. I was watching at home, since I was 5, but 8 was my first game, and I'm about as aqua and orange blooded as you can get.
That, what I love the most about that is not the way, not the visual image of the story, but your look as you told it, because you kind of got happier as your story went on. But that's what, again, this is what football to me is more about: W's and losses. It's the memories. It's the friends.
The moment.
The moment.
You said it last week. The moments, right?
We're a team of moments.
Yeah.
Even
long history.
Throughout our history, right? Even moments that have ended in negativity. The See a Hands game, the hook and ladder. I mean, these are games that, lore, NFL lore, that we've sometimes been on the wrong side of.
Uwe von Shaman.
Oh, that name. I knew that name when I was before I knew what any historical figure was. It's like, that's just life. That's life as a Dolphin fan. But also life as a Dolphin fan. Now that we're giving away a Bob Greasy card, for the Don Shula Memorial, back when we played the Colts, one of the moments that I'll never forget, I had a really awesome opportunity to listen to Mr. Greasy speak, and I asked also Nat Moore a question, and I thought it was going to be like a 2-second answer, but Nat just started just riffing off of the charity and just everything that they do, that Bob does, that Coach Shula did. So I'm going to add charity to. No one go nuts here. This is a reprint, but it's still a fun one. This is a Marino rookie card reprint.
Oh my gosh.
It's not the real one. There's still a fun amount of value to it, but this is going to go
with the Bob Greasy.
So we got 2 faux rookies, but they're rookies, and they're the 2 best in the business. The only 2 quarterback numbers retired for the Miami Dolphins.
Wow.
Both of them are going to go to the winner of this spin. Are we ready?
Good luck, everybody.
5 of 5, Bill.
Do it. Here it goes.
The fan of the year, Ian Berger. That was a good hit. These are going to the right place.
Well, yeah, because he's a fan of Bob, so yeah, he likes Greasy, so that's good.
This is a great bunch of cards, and it's going to a great fan. Ian Berger is phenomenal in bringing people together. He's like the straw that stirs the drink.
That's it.
And
He's the connector. He's the one that, Horrible Boss, or not Horrible Boss, the movie Get Hard, when Will Ferrell's pointing on there and he's pointing and then the guy's name's in the middle and everything goes back to that guy. That's Ian Berger. I wanted to do some kind of a media thing where it's Ian Berger in the middle and it's all the different ones of us on the outside and the arrows are all pointing at him because he's the one that's connected everybody together.
I love it. And the funniest thing was, like, social media, it's so strange. It's like, we talked to each other. We've never met in the flesh, and that's going to happen eventually. And
we just missed each other last week.
We just missed, and these are crazy times. So it's like the technology has allowed the two-dimensional friendships to really be very meaningful. And I happen to have met Big E live just weeks after I met him virtually, and it was just such a weird, like, this is just such a weird time in our life, but it's a good way to expand the horizons, especially our fan base, where we're represented across 50 states and like 200 countries more.
Yeah.
So congratulations to Big E for all the work that you do, the honor that you had. You're our fan of the year. You won the competition.
Thank you for donating, Ian.
Thank you for donating, and thank you for spreading the word. So we have a couple more minutes.
I think Bill's smiling on that one, Jason.
I hope so. I listen, Bill and I, there's a quick story about Bill. We were talking about our favorite pieces of clothing items. And I said, I referenced, and this is a tribute to Bill. This is just the kind of guy that he was. Talking on DM, and I mentioned that my favorite item growing up was a Dolphins starter jacket. And a lot of us had the Dolphin starter jacket, and it was like one of those. It was the black with the black jacket with just the logo, right? I might have had one or two other jackets in my time, but then within about 45 seconds, when you're looking at your DMs and you see like the dots, like you know something's coming. And
yeah, somebody's working.
I just got an awesome picture of what Bill sent me of his jacket, or one of his jackets, and it was like one of those, like the white, aqua, and orange, like splash logo jackets, where it was like right up here, and then the bottom was like that kind of splash orange, and it was like a pro player, but it was just so sharp, and it was on a pristine hanger, and it was next to pristine other clothing, and I'm like, all right, so let's say he was watching the game or watching something sitting on a couch, got up right to his thing, got up right.
Yeah.
He was so proud of his stuff, and we're all proud of our stuff. So I hope that everyone who gets their stuff is proud of their Dolphin fandom and their Dolphin memorabilia. And I think what I want to do is it's 12:40. We're going to do our last live giveaway, and that's going to be the big one in terms of, look, this is a lot of the thanks that I have for doing what I'm doing goes to a guy like OJ, goes to Seth Levitt, Travis Wingfield, guys that just really have no need to necessarily bring me into the world, of what they do. And a moment that OJ gave me and my son in 2019 when I first met him, this just has to just be said because it just goes to show what type of a person OJ is. I never met him. I exchanged a couple of DMs with him. I shouted out from the stands, "Hey, OJ, it's Sarney." And then he screamed, "Oh, Jace, Jace." And he literally climbed up like the rails and just to say hello. And my son is there.
Oh.
And that is something that my son always asks, how's OJ? What's going on with OJ? And thank you, OJ, for everything that you've done and you continue to do. And if anyone can also contribute to his Catch 81 Foundation, look, I know we ask people to contribute.
Yeah,
People do what they can. But for anybody who really, truly deserves that philanthropy to be paid back to his foundations, it's a guy like an OJ McDuffie. So we are going to roll that right now. And of course,
fantastic.
Fish Tank. Go to the Fish Tank. Please listen to the guys riff on the best stories of an NFL.
They're really good.
Stories of guys hanging out in South Beach. Stories of guys swimming out in horrible ocean current just to say, yeah, I could swim out to that buoy.
Yeah.
But anyway, Fish Tank is literally, I look forward to it. So, all right, let's spin.
Can I just say something before you spin?
Yeah,
Jason, this is super cool that you're putting that card up. I mean, you've had it less than a week. And I know how much OJ means to you. So this kind of shows what this is about. This is for Bill to try to, what we can do for each other and for our fan base. That's pretty cool that somebody that means so much to you, your favorite player, and you've had that card all of a week signed. The ink is still wet. Huge deal, dude. Much props, much respect to you, Jason.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you, and I appreciate it's been a weird couple of years for me. So thank you to everyone out there. Thank you. So let's spin.
Let's do it.
Whoa, Matthew Stevens, you are getting the OJ auto. And I'm going to throw in another OJ.
Way to go, Matt.
45. I have as many OJ cards as I do catches that he led the NFL in 1998, which was 90. 90 catches, Bill. Tell the kids out there how ridiculous 90 catches was for a slot receiver in the 90s.
Oh, no. Unheard of. You got murdered going over the middle. It just didn't happen back then. The game is different now. The Welkers and the guys like that cross the middle and get these big catches. Even Waddle, those things didn't happen back in the day. As soon as you came off the line, you were a target. So yeah, for OJ to do what he did and just fearless going over the middle and giving Dan a target, amazing.
It was a joy doing this with you, Bill. I say it was a joy doing this with you, but it's a shame that a tragedy had to bring this kind of enjoy. You know what I'm trying to say.
I know what you mean.
These are things that you don't hope to do, but when life gives you lemons, all we could kind of do is try to make lemonade. And I hope that we did that. And if there's anything that you can get us out of here with.
Two quick things. I'll piggyback on that and say, we talked about how Bill was always so positive but he really, really got joy. The last thing he would do every night before he signed off was he would go down and just look at his memorabilia, and he'd just a little corner of his stuff he'd tweet out and say, hey, last look before I go to bed. You know what I mean? And it just brought joy to all of us to see all that stuff and go, oh, wow, I remember those. Even like dolphin pencils and stuff. Like he had everything. The guy was amazing. And so that's why we did this. And I hope that his daughter Elizabeth and his wife Marilyn, I hope they really, really understand that it's not about the dollar figure. It's more about what Bill meant to us as fans. And he was a part of our community, and he'll be sorely missed. Secondly, I want to remind everybody that another thing that we're giving out is a Richmond web card. I reached out to Richmond, and that man is sending us more than just that. So there's going to be some other things for people, and he's going to sign it. So that's something else that those that donated are in the running for after the show's over. And lastly, thank you, everybody that was a part of this and donated. I know it's a tough time of the year, but it really meant a lot to me personally that everybody got involved. And I just want to thank everybody.
Well said, Bill. And continue to do what you do. Health and happiness to you and yours. Keep on singing, my friend. And
let's go Dolphins.
Let's go Dolphins. Let's get this one. Let's get this one. We need this. Is the
Get that.
biggest
Winning in Nashville.
This is yes, winning in Nashville, which
Yes,
will
sir.
be put up for a Grammy in the circuits of song parodies.
There you go.
No one does it better than us over at PhinManiacs in the parody world of songs. So thank you.
There you go. That's right. Number one.
Maniac. And I'll tell you what, we'll make sure that the rest of the names, Luz Franco, Robert Brown, Robbie Mead, Josh Downey, Patrick O'Neill, Michael Hafner, Corey Matthias, Christina M., Brian Scarborough. These are donors, and you will get, cards from us throughout the day. We will figure this out. And I'll tell you, if we can get a W, maybe we jump on in a post-game show. We do a little bit more raffling and talking about a hopeful W. So
I'm here if you need me, my friend.
Bill Turnbull, thank you so much. Thank you to Jack Zulo. Thank you to everyone over at Patch Vibes, to Tom and Nearcy at Dolphin Talk, Ian Berger, Josh Houts, Robbie Mead, everyone who has helped get this message. And the Hetrick family, they have endorsed what we're doing. Elizabeth did reach out to me. So God bless you all, Hetrick. So we hope that you guys are, doing as good you can. And we're here for you as a community. So fins up, everybody. Thank you for everything you guys do. And a happy and a healthy 2022. Take care, everyone.
Get that W. Bye, Jason.
Take care, Bill.